All right, all right. I'm J Rod, and I'm here with Zach Scheit. Zach, my good friend, how are you this fine morning?
I'm doing well, and we once again, I we sound like a broken record, but we have plenty of stuff to talk about.
Are you sure?
Just when you think things might settle down a little bit,
Right.
all hell breaks loose.
It's crazy, but I say this every time. It seems like we've been doing these calls for going on 3 years, and there's never a shortage of things going on, but there's never a shortage of great ideas and great ways to protect yourself, grow your wealth. And we couldn't have a better seasoned veteran of markets than you on the call, Zach. So what do you see, and what do we need to do about it?
So as we look at the market right now, and the chaos that's happening as wars breaking out, we're seeing a lot of interesting trends developing. So stocks in general have been tumbling. And when I say in general, there's, some of the hottest areas like technology and, some manufacturing and other economically sensitive stocks have been tumbling. At the same time, we've seen oil prices spiking, and that means oil stocks have been rising as well. We've seen a lot of action in precious metals. Gold is breaking out. Gold miners are breaking out. And basically this market is crazy. One day you step in and you've got a rally going on. The next day you come in and things are down sharply. Just as a quick example, I heard one of the guys on the financial media talking this morning about a specific type of energy contract, the European gas oil, which is a type of kind of like a heavy diesel fuel. Yesterday, gas oil actually hit an all-time high in the morning as oil prices surged higher, and this was an all-time high dating back for 50 years of this contract. And then as oil prices started to fall, the contract for gas oil dropped, and it fell, and it had the worst actual decline. So the biggest percentage decline that this contract has ever seen since the 1990s. And this is based on no general news that came out of the industry. It was just gas was really, really high, and then traders started selling it, and it had the worst day possible. So brand new all-time highs, worst day since the 1990s, both happening on the same day. That's just kind of an example of how crazy this market is, and right, how careful we have to be as investors, because things are moving really, really quickly. Mm-hmm. Kind of an interesting maybe parallel that you could think of in this market is really easy to lose your focus and get distracted by all the turbulence that's going on. And as I'd take a morning walk just to kind of clear my head and think through, what we're looking at for the day ahead. And as I was walking this morning, I kind of got this memory of that movie Full Metal Jacket, and with all the war that's going on. And a lot of times in the military, as Army people are, especially privates and new recruits are training, they're required to do something that takes a lot of focus and a lot of effort, while a drill sergeant is yelling in their ear. You've probably seen videos like that. You're supposed to take apart your weapon and put it back together, while drill sergeant's just yelling profanity and trying to get you rattled as much as possible. And it seems like a really cruel thing at the time. But when you think about these soldiers then being in a war situation and needing to reload ammunition or unjam a gun or handle something that requires really good focus while there are bombs and everything going off, that's the focus that's necessary. And I don't want to tie, what's going on in the market too much to that type of war, because obviously there's that, what we're doing is trivial compared to the life and peril and everything that's going on overseas right now. But at the same time, there are some parallels that we can think about. As these markets are moving back and forth, and as prices are moving, it's easy to get kind of distracted and worried about what's going on, instead of saying, all right, I need to have a plan. I need to think through these different positions. I need to plan for what I expect to happen, and I need to have a balanced approach to the market. And this is what I need to do in order to have a balanced approach. It's hard to do that when everything's going nuts around you. And so that's one of the things I want to encourage you right now is, as we talk through some of these opportunities, let's take some time to get away from the media, away from, the headlines. Those are important, but you need to be able to step aside from those and really look carefully, strategically at how you want to be invested in today's market and make decisions. I would even recommend making decisions, writing them down on paper or your computer, whatever, when the market is closed, either in the evening or over the weekend, when there's not a lot going on, so that you can say, this is what I want to do. And then when the market opens, execute your plan. And that way you're not distracted by, by all the things that are going around. So that's just kind of a quick overview or thought about, strategery, as former President Bush would say.
Right.
And as we look at what's going on in the market right now, I do have something controversial or maybe contrarian that I think you should be looking at right now. So for months now, I've been pounding the table telling you to stay away from speculative growth stocks, and specifically some of these tech stocks that are they've been trading at unreasonable prices, and the businesses don't make money, and they're worth billions of dollars on paper, and yet you wonder, can they really be worth buying those stocks at such inflated prices?
And you've been right about that.
Well, thanks. Yes, and hopefully we've helped a lot of people avoid some heartache and some big losses as these stocks have traded sharply lower. But I've got a different opinion today as we start seeing some new trends stepping up in the market. So recently, we've actually seen some of these speculative tech stocks actually start to get buyout offers from larger, more profitable tech companies. So a few examples. Just this week, we saw Google. They bought Mandiant, which is a cybersecurity company, for $23 a share. And this basically, all the rumors of buyout and so forth, caused the stock to go from $13.76 just a couple weeks ago to around $22 today. So a 60% gain over just a couple weeks. And this is one of those speculative tech stocks that we've been trying to avoid. You probably saw some of the news around Activision and how Microsoft is buying it out. When Microsoft first announced that buyout, Activision jumped 30% overnight. And this was a troubled stock that had traded sharply lower for a long period of time. Intel this year agreed to buy Tower Semiconductor, which is another tech stock that was much more speculative than some of the bigger blue chip tech stocks. And that stock surged 39% overnight. There are several other examples, but the point that I'm trying to make right now is that a lot of these speculative tech stocks have traded down to levels that now are somewhat attractive. Now, they're not attractive as the business stands on their own. So I wouldn't necessarily want to buy some of these stocks and expect their business as it stands right now to rebound and do really well and to generate a profit. But if a big company like Amazon, Microsoft, or Google, or even somebody like Tesla decides to step in and buy a technology company that's unprofitable, they can use that technology. They can input it into their systems, into their customer lists that they already have, and they can take that technology that's not profitable right now and build a whole ecosystem around it and sell it to a much wider audience and actually make a profit from it. And so big cap tech companies are now, they're full of cash. They've got tons of cash that they need to figure out how to spend to grow their businesses. They're looking for opportunities to grow. And now they can buy some of these speculative tech names at a much cheaper price and use that technology to grow their own business. So I believe that we're going to start seeing a lot more takeover alerts, mergers, acquisitions. We're going to see those headlines popping up now that these stocks are much, much cheaper. So how can you profit from that? Well, I think it makes sense to take a few very select positions in some of these really beaten down speculative tech names. I don't want you to lose the whole overall picture of we want to have a balanced approach to our investments. So we're not talking about betting the farm on any one of these stocks, but we are saying maybe take 5-10% of your wealth and start putting in a little bit into a few of these different names. Some of the names that I would look at is the names that are included in Kathy Wood's ARK investment, ARKK. Remember, this is an area that I've told you to stay away from. I've been banging the table telling you to stay away from this area.
Right.
Finally, I think there are some opportunities there. You may want to buy shares of the stocks, or you may want to buy in the money call options. If you're familiar with options and you're comfortable trading options, some of the in the money call options might give you the best risk reward because you can get a much bigger percentage gain if the stock jumps. Meanwhile, if you buy in the money call contracts, they're less likely to completely lose their value if the stocks just kind of tread water for a little while. And it may take some time before these deals come through. So they'll be hit or miss, but if you have a basket of maybe 5-10 of these beaten down technology names and 2 or 3 of them get buyout offers, you can make a really good amount of profit just from that rebound. So
I think it's really important to note too, Zach. I mean, you've been very, very vocal about these names. When they were very, very expensive, and now they're very cheap. And you are again one of the market's foremost value investors. You're always preaching, it's one of the three pillars of the lifetime income report strategy. So now these names are super cheap, and you're putting forward that these are now in some cases big value opportunities.
Yeah, I think they are. And again, like the value is not as a standalone company. So some of these names, if you look at the general metrics for them, like what the price is compared to the earnings, and if they don't have any earnings, they're not value as compared to traditional value metrics, but they are valuable because they have something that a larger tech company could use to generate a profit. So it's a little bit of a different way of looking at it, but definitely some opportunity there. So go through the list. You can just Google ARK, ARKK, or Kathy Wood, and it's really easy to find a quick report of the stocks that she's invested in. And she's actually, that fund is required to update on a daily basis what it's invested in. So you can see those on a day-to-day basis. J-Rod, that's really what I've got prepared for today. I know it's a crazy time, but let's just remember, keep your wits about you, keep your focus, make a plan, stick with the plan. And this is not something that we have to fret over. Like we were saying at the beginning of the call, I've been through this for years. Many of you guys on the call are veteran traders, veteran investors. You understand that markets have stable times and they have volatile times. So let's all just remember, if we keep our wits, if we invest smartly, if we're balanced and keep our capital in different areas of the market, some that are doing well, some that are pulling back, that's the best way to grow your wealth over a long time. And we're going to be just fine. This too will pass. We'll get through this.
Right. And I tell you what, sitting on the virtual other side of the room, I never worry about what's going on in the markets. Again, we do this once a month. You cut through all the BS, and there is quite a lot of it floating around. To really simple strategies like this. So thank you so much, Zach, for another, really good call, really great opportunities here.
Absolutely.
So thanks so much. And yeah, I'm J-Rod, and we'll see you next month.
See you next month, guys.